Hello everybody, this is GamerGar and welcome back to another video of Stardew Valley. For today's video I'm going to show you 10 amazing tips that you can do in winter so that when you get into spring in the next year you're going to be good to go for a good year. Let's get into the video. The first tip I'm going to share with yourselves today is the importance of planting fiber seeds in winter. It's one of the few items that you can plant on your farm, but it's absolutely worth it. Fiber, for example, can be used to make Junimo huts, which will automate the farming process on your farm. It can also be used to make tree fertilizers, which means you can make huge tree farms very quickly. And it can also be used to make tea saplings if you want to make huge profits throughout the year. Now, to get your hands on the lovely fiber seed, all you have to do is complete the community cleanup quest for Linus, and he'll give you this quest through the special orders billboard that Robin will make in fall for you. Now, in order to make a fiber seed, what you need is mixed seeds, sap and clay, and one craft will get you 4 fiber seeds. And the great thing about the fiber seeds is that one fiber seed will yield between 4 and 7 fiber when harvested with a scythe, and there's also a very good chance too that you'll get mixed seeds back when you harvest these fiber seeds, which means you can make more and more all the time. It's also worth noting too that if you use the golden scythe, it will increase the odds of you getting back more mixed seeds, and the golden scythe will make harvesting go a lot faster as it will cover a much wider range. Now, fiber seeds don't need to be watered, which is absolutely magnificent, so all you need is tilted soil and you can plant these seeds down in your farm and you can just wait a few days for them to grow. Next up, let's talk about the importance of processing everything. As you can see here, we have a shed filled up to the top with crystallariums to generate jades, but you might have a shed filled up with other things. Winter is a great time of the year to get ahead with all your processing needs. You could have hundreds of eggs from chickens, you could have tons of truffles from pigs, and you just might not have found the time to spend hours in-game hours each day to process all these items. But winter will allow you to do that because there's not going to be much farming activity going on in winter, so you could spend the whole day inside your shed processing your lovely eggs, processing your truffles, processing your milk, processing your crystallariums. And as you can see here, I have hoppers set up to all these processing machines, and this makes it much more efficient for me because all I have to do is just loot these mayonnaise machines, and the hoppers will automatically load in the items. You can also set up hoppers with geode crushers, which is really nice as well. So each of these geode crushers automatically take the omni geodes from the hoppers, which is really cool. And if you look at this shed here, we have we have oil machines, and we also have kegs. So I'm using leftover sunflowers here just to turn it into oil so I can cook recipes. And I also have kegs that process ancient fruit at the moment, which give me back ancient fruit wine. And these are all loaded up with hoppers. Now, I will purchase more hoppers later on, but I have plenty at the moment for what I need the shed to do. Using these methods in winter, you can make yourself a huge fortune, and you can go into spring then with an absolute ton of money. You'll have so much money in spring you could even go to the desert and purchase great crops such as rhubarb. Let's talk about tip number 3 here, renewing pigs. So as you can see here, pigs in winter are absolutely useless to you. They won't go outside, they won't collect truffles, but they will eat your lovely precious hay. My advice is to sell your pigs in winter, but then purchase baby pigs because you'll make a profit that way. And even though baby pigs will still eat your hay, by the time spring comes in, they'll be fully grown pigs and they'll look for truffles for you again. So if you have grown pigs in winter, just sell them, make yourself a profit, and purchase baby pigs. It's also worth noting too that if you want your pigs to accumulate more friendship points with you on a daily basis, then choose the farming profession shepherd. This will increase the rate at which your pigs will gain friendship with you. The reason why this is very important is because a pig with maxed out friendship will find more truffles for you on a daily basis. There's a 66% chance a pig will find an additional truffle that's maxed out with friendship. And that 66% chance will keep rolling on until it fails to find the next truffle. This means a pig could potentially find multiple truffles in one day. Next up, let's talk about the importance of tree farms. One of the best things that I think you should do in winter is to make as many tree farms as possible. The quarry is a great place for tree farms. The desert is another great place for tree farms. And if you have spare slots in your farm, you can also put tree farms down there. Now if you use tree fertilizer, your trees will still grow in winter and they will grow very quickly. So don't let winter ruin your fun when it comes to making huge tree farms. Wood is a resource that's very common in Stardew Valley, but at the same time it's needed in so many things, including huge building crafts. Also, if you need kegs, for example, you need oak resins, you can set up tappers to all these trees to get tons of oak resins back every couple of days. You could also go a step further and get heavy tappers from Key's secret walnut room, which will double your oak resin production, meaning you can have a huge amount of kegs for processing items later on in the game. As you can see here, we've got tons of trees, and because these aren't fruit trees, you can grow them beside each other no problem. My advice as well is to put pathways between these trees, that way it's easier to get the resins out of them if you have tappers on them. But if you just want a tree farm to get wood, there's no point. You can just put down bombs or use an axe and get tons of wood back. Next up, let's talk about the importance of redesigning your farm. There's multiple ways you can redesign your farm. Robin can move buildings for you. She can also demolish buildings. But you can also use the wizard to move and demolish buildings as well. And the great thing about the wizard is that his magical terminal is more accessible than going to Robin. If we take Robin for example, once it hits 5 o'clock on most days, she will retire for the day, so you can't use her to make modifications to the farm. Also, she isn't available Tuesday through regular methods. The wizard, however, is available most days, and you can go into his tower almost any time you wish, and you can use his magical terminal to your heart's content. Utilising these methods, you can move around your buildings, demolish buildings and items you don't need anymore, and you can make your farm a lot more efficient, so that when you get into spring, you can start with huge advantages. As we can see here, I'm using the magical terminal to move buildings around. No problem at all. Next up, let's talk about the importance of gift giving. Winter is a great month to catch up on your NPC friendships. Giving gifts to NPCs will make the NPCs like you a lot more, but more importantly, they will send you really cool recipes and items in the mail every few days. So it's definitely worth your time to befriend all the NPCs in Stardew Valley. Some NPCs can send you amazing items. Pam, for example, can send you energy tonics and battery packs. They are endgame items. Robin can send you wood, George can send you stone, and even Marnie will send you hay, which can be very expensive. And hay is extremely important to feed animals, especially if you don't have a whole lot of grass growing on your farm at the moment. So a lot of the NPCs can send you amazing items, and even some NPCs can send you items that other NPCs love. So it's just a beautiful circle of friendship, and it makes everything easier in the game. It's also worth noting too that Winter has an event called the Feast of the Winter Star, which gives you a 5x friendship multiplier to whomever you need to give the present to. Next up, let's talk about farming iridium ore. Because there isn't a whole lot to do in winter, going to the Skull Cavern is a great way to stack up on your iridium ores, your coal and your other minerals that you need for other activities on the farm. You can use iridium bars to make iridium sprinklers, and if you attach pressure nozzles to those sprinklers, you will only need a very few amount of sprinklers on your farm, and it will cover a huge area to water crops for you on a daily basis. The great thing also about iridium ores is that iridium bars sell for tons of money. Next up, let's talk about the garden pot that Evelyn gives you once you have completed the greenhouse. Garden pots are very cheap to make, and you can make as many garden pots as you wish. The great thing about garden pots is that you can put deluxe retaining soil into them, meaning you don't have to water them on a daily basis. You can also put regrowable crops into these garden pots anywhere on your farm, indoors or outdoors, and your crops will regrow all the time. Now, it is more beneficial to put them indoors, that way the seasons won't affect whatever crop you have inside. We have strawberries here, for example, but tea sapling is another great item you can put into a garden pot. Now, under normal circumstances, garden pots cannot be used outside your farm, but there is an exception. The exception is the tea sapling. You can put tea saplings in your garden pots outside of your farm. So you can actually fill up Stardew Valley with garden pots and tea saplings. You can have it literally all over the place. The next tip we're going to talk about is the importance of increasing your processing power. So if you play like myself, sometimes what you could have is an overabundance of milk or wines, or any sort of other item that needs to be processed further. There's loads of places in Stardew Valley that you can put more processing machines down. For example, let's take a look at the road here leading out of Stardew Valley. It's not actually used at all by any of the NPCs. You can put tons of kegs or other processing machines down here, and you can fill them up to the top then with items that can turn into wine to make even more profits. There's other places too, such as the desert and the quarry, that you can place these processing machines, and there's also loads of places around Stardew Valley that you can put these machines too. As you can see here, I've got tons of ancient fruit that needs to be processed further, so we're going to use this space to make this happen. This is a great way to make even more money. If you have a farm yourself and you have tons of wood and resins and you're just not using it, do yourself a favour and make more processing machines to increase your profit margins. Stardew Valley primarily runs on money, so the more money you have, the more you can do and the faster that you can meet your endgame goals. The last tip I'm going to share with you today is putting down grass starter before you get into spring. At the end of each season, grass starter gets a huge multiplier effect, and it will instantly grow when a new season comes in. So if we put down patches of grass starter like this, when it comes into spring, you're going to have an absolute ton of grass. That means you won't have to buy a whole lot of hay to feed your animals, because the grass will feed your animals for you. This is a magnificent money maker, and grass starter can be made using fibre, but you can also purchase it from Pierre, and it's extremely cheap to purchase. It's one of the best money makers in the game, because you're not going down to Marty and purchasing tons of hay all the time from her. As we can see now, we're in spring, and look at all the grass that we have. So I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll upload the next Stardew Valley video in the next few days. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so, as Stardew Valley content gets released quite regularly on this channel, and I do really appreciate your support. As always, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.